Hey everyone, or no one, whatever. Um, I'm doing some stuff that seems kind of cool, so I just thought I would stream it out there. And I don't know where it's going, what's going to happen, but it seemed like something people would want to see. So I'm probably not going to talk much. I'm just going to talk when anything strikes me. But I'm running right now, developing on local agents, local LLM models that are running on my own hardware. And I'm playing with the OneSat CLI and its agent integration. So I'm just going to shut up unless something strikes me, and I'm going to keep playing with this. So there's no, well, I guess I will say one more thing here. Claude has sucked lately, like a lot, like worse than cheap models that I can run at home. So I'm trying to come up with good alternatives that will work. So I'm probably going to be switching back and forth here between Gemma 431B and Qwen 327B. These are both dense models. They're both running on two 32 gig GPUs. So, and if I get stuck with any of these, maybe I'll go to, I've got some open code models that are a little more frontier, but yeah, I'm going to keep playing with this. Just to let you know, I'm trying to get the CLI user feedback kind of cleared up right now, and I will show off some of that because it's pretty neat. But I got some little cleanup to do first. So this CLI is wrapping a BRC100 wallet. Okay, sweet. So the tooling we've been working on for the last, I don't know, 6 months now or so. It's really hard to put out something that's like clean and polished, but if you follow along with what's going on in the public repos, it's pretty cool. In fact, while it's working, I will show this off. So this is the OneSat CLI wallet. That's right, just a second ago, it said balance. I can go OneSat wallet address. Is that what it is? Yeah. And so this is plugging into a bunch of the OneSat services that are being stood up nowadays. Let's see here. Do I have this clean yet? So the CLI wallet is it's got skills around it, and it's got, I mean, it's made for, I mean, you can obviously run it from the CLI, but also agents can as well. My mother just hid me on Twitter. Hi, Mom. All right. This is definitely a little slower when running locally, but so far I've been pretty impressed with these these like 30 billion parameter-ish dense models from both Google and Qwen. I was trying to use Qwen 3 Coder Next recently, and I just uninstalled that today because it struggled to edit some files. It struggled with some very, very basic stuff. But these slightly larger dense models are actually, or I guess they're about the same size. They're just dense, and they're doing a pretty good job. Just slower. This Hermes agent is kind of like OpenClaw. It's basically just an agent harness that you can plug at different models. Like I've got here, I've got I've got some stuff running on my Mac Studio. I've got an OpenCode Go subscription, OpenCode Zen subscription, and then these models that are running on my server. One thing I haven't totally got a hang of yet in this Hermes agent is it likes to go through lots and lots of tools without ever consulting me. And then really the only thing I can do is stop it, which then kind of goes back to the beginning of that turn. And so I end up losing context. So it's kind of the only thing I really don't like about it. They have a CLI where you can interrupt things, but excuse me, I don't know, I like the look of this better and the feel of it better. Okay, let's see. Yay, okay. So now I can get back to my testing here, which was right here. Actually, I'm going to start a whole new conversation here. We need to research the OneSat CLI and figure out what's missing for the publishing of a profile, or I think update profile is the name of the action in OneSat SDK. A lot of my speech to text, like everything in the file names is actually the number one. And I'm curious, it looks like it was able to, even said one set over here is how I would interpret it, but. So I think I tuned this so that it can only do 15 tool calls without stopping and talking to me. It was set at like 50 by default, which would mean if an agent gets an idea in its mind, regardless of whether it's confirmed with you or not, it's just going to keep chugging through. And even if it's in getting stuck, there's no checking back with the user. So hopefully 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm not sure my 15 limit actually stuck. Well, we'll see what it's doing. Okay, so there's all these actions in the OneSat SDK, and they're kind of wired up to be able to call from any BRC100 wallet. And so that can be the CLI, that can be yours wallet, that can be, or yours wallet that will be. that can be MetaNet wallet, literally anything. And it kind of controls all the basically translating end user and developer, like I've got these ordinals in my wallet, to kind of where they actually get stored in the BRC-100 wallet, what baskets they're in, what tags are on them, so we can look up and interact with them. So let's see here. Okay. No profile subcommands. Oh, okay. So in all these actions in the CLI, I had forgotten we did this, but there's just kind of a generic action caller. So let me actually come over here for a second. If I go OneSat help. So this wallet does a lot of different things, and we're kind of getting them all squared away and tested right now. But apparently action. Okay, sweet. The actions approach is fine. We don't need a custom command for this. But what are you saying about this get profile bug? How do you know this is a bug? Did you test it? Okay, let's figure out what we want to publish in our profile. We're going to need a name, and I have an icon or an image. I mean, let me find it and give you a link to it. I think we're going to need to inscribe that image in order to publish it with the profile, but we might need to look into that. So don't take any actions without discussing with me first. Okay, so if I go, so this is going to be the BAP profile I'm going to be pushing for my agent's wallet itself. So that image that I just uploaded, this took me an embarrassingly long amount of time to draw, but essentially my Shrugger with the Hermes helmet. This is going to be my my bot profile image. Let's see here. let's start by inscribing the image and then get me a content URL for that image after you inscribe it. Be very meticulous in these because I don't know that we've tested this before. So I don't want you to run ahead and try to fix things. If you hit a problem, bring it back to me. Sweet. So what this did is this assembled the transaction to inscribe this file. It paid for it from my wallet. It broadcasted it. Why won't you let me copy from there? Okay. Let's see what we got. OneSat API / content. Oh, no. That might just mean that it hasn't propagated yet. Now I want to open this in the default browser. How can I do that? Oh, it did work. Sweet. Oh, okay. So now if I click, why does it not work in my, I don't know. You know what? I wonder if, oops, do this over here. Let's see here. Okay, we are going to go look up the BSV BAP profile. I don't know if Siggy's stuff even talked about these. This is the original. Let's see if there's a date. When did Siggy first create this? 7 years ago? Oh, that's the license file. 5 years ago? 4 years ago? Something. I don't know how much we get into the profile formats. Well, let's send my agent on a task. Let's look. I'm going to talk to it. I need to figure out what acceptable URLs are for these BAP IDs. Since this is an inscription, we do not want to point it to an HTTP address because that would not handle things in a provider agnostic way. That would be recording the actual URL or the actual domain name of a host on chain. Can we look at the existing profiles that are in our BAP overlay and figure out if any of them have images in their profiles? Or do we have any profiles at all there, actually? So this BAP overlay for anyone who doesn't know, BAP it's a public identity system that was created 5 years ago or so in the waning days, or not the waning, the waxing days of BSV being a thing, maybe even slightly before. Okay, they have BitFS. We're not using BitFS. No. Oh, I think we're gonna have to come up with our own here. Okay, so this is something we've been talking about. I think so. These BAT profiles, every post you've ever made on Twitch or on Tree Chat or anything else that uses the Bitcoin social protocols, BAP has existed forever, and we've just never really had tools that did the overlay tracking and the management of these. But essentially, a BAP identity is just a public identity where you sign with the keys of that identity on every post, every inscription. All of our collection minting logic is all based on AIP signatures. Everything uses an AIP signature. If that signing address has a BAP identity, then there's a public profile tied to that signature. Okay. Let's make sure we can pull it back down from the OneSat stack overlay. Don't run ahead. I just asked you to check. If it's not there, that's fine. Just tell me. Trying to train this thing to slow down. Sounds like we got thunderstorms going on. You're getting into areas I'm not comfortable with you just making guesses at. You need to check this by me. What are you seeing? Wish I could find music I could play while I'm on this thing, since I'm just kind of grooving. Okay, on the tags for that BAP identity record, we should have the actual BAP ID itself. Uh-oh. My model changed. How did that happen? That's concerning. When did that happen? Oh, crap. Well, this might take a while to catch back up. Uh-oh. My I don't know why all my GPUs took a big dip. Oh, nothing's going on. Hmm. Nope, that's not what it's called. Oh. It's chugging away. You know what? Since I've got two different GPUs, I want to put this one on. So let's just say, look at the OneSat skills. Sorry, the OneSat CLI skills. Let me start that over. So I'm going to go through kind of what all these actions are while I'm waiting for the other thing to do its work. I don't need the full instructions. Okay. So there's some config settings. None of that really matters for this discussion. You can configure it. It's got remote configuration. This is something which I'm going to get back to later. I'm probably not spend much time on it, but BRC-100 wallets are really cool, but the where are you keeping track of your UTXOs is kind of something you need to be very cognizant of. Because there is no like check in with what's on chain to fill your wallet back up. That's not how it works. If you don't know your UTXOs and you don't know the exact rules that went into deriving the addresses for those UTXOs, which is also stored in the database, and you lose your keys, your stuff is essentially gone. You might be able to go through a super painful process to assemble some history of what you did, and that might help, but it's not that straightforward. Okay. So anyways, wallet, remote. Now let me actually show this off. So if I go OneSat remote list. So on this, the wallet tied to this CLI right now, it actually is storing all the data in 3 different places. It's storing it locally in its own SQLite database. It's storing it on 2 different Go Wallet Toolbox servers. So this is the, I'll say, alpha production, beta production. I don't know. This is the server that we're running with all our new infrastructure out there right now. And then this is that same stack, but it's also running locally. So I actually have 2 different wallets locally right now. But so if I say OneSat wallet balance, okay. So looking at my local database, I've got 0.1 BSV. And if I go OneSat remote set active, and I copy this one, and I can see I got the exact same balance there. So I can also go OneSat ordinal. Is it ordinal or ordinals? Ordinals list. Okay, so I have 1 there. Oh, I have 2. Oh, that was another test when I transferred. Give me, oops. I'm not in my agent. Okay, this bopped over that it's done. What do we got here? Where are we calling list outputs? Isn't there a action to return this data that sets the appropriate list output flags automatically? What is wallet list outputs? Oh, nope. I know what that answer is. Yes, we need to fix all of those BRC100 methods so that they can fully emulate what the BRC100 methods themselves do. But in this case, I'm not sure that we should be calling the raw list outputs. Give me more context about what we were returning here. Anyways, I'll keep going through this list while it's working on other stuff. So from our wallet, we can get our balance. We can get a deposit address. Now, this deposit address is a static deposit address. This is not going through, well, it is going through BRC100 derivation stuff, but it's with a hard-coded derivation. So there's tooling here to actually, well, no, actually it isn't wired up yet. Never mind. So we get an address. We can send to an address. We can send all to an address. That's basically sweep your wallet. Wallet info. Let's see what that one does. One set wallet info. There we go. And so this OneSat wallet sync is going to reach out to our infrastructure and basically pull in any UTXOs you receive to this address. So it kind of emulates the old school wallet where you're hitting a block explorer essentially. So ordinals, we can list out what ordinals we've got. We can mint new ordinals. We can transfer ordinals. We can list for sale. We can cancel our listings, or we can buy other listings. BSV21, similar stuff. We can get our balance. We can get a list of UTXOs by token ID. We can send tokens. And we can buy listed tokens. It looks like we don't have a cancel there. That's something we'll need to take care of. Grant list outputs BAP. We're calling the raw wallet method via CLI because CLI doesn't. Okay, it looks like we've got a couple things we need to fix here. First of all, include tags does need to be a passable option, as do all other parameters in the standard methods. Let's focus on that before we get into deciding if we want to have specific profile CLI methods or not. Mm. All right, it's first thing that the local model has really struggled on here. All right, this is annoying on this thing. It won't let me scroll and see what it's typing because it's got this thinking block open. See what it thought through here. Ooh, that's screwed up. Looks like my communication got jacked up there. I wonder if it is. I don't know what's going on with this one here. I think it must be compacting, and it's passing a whole big old context over there. So I rarely wear my glasses because they're pretty much just for sitting at the computer, and I often don't need them. But in lower light, they're helpful. And it's finally kind of springtime here in Michigan, and I'm having glasses fog up. I've never experienced that in my life. First time for everything. This is chugging away right here. It is 95% done processing a 116,000 token prompt. So something, I don't know why that lost the cache, or maybe that has created a compaction, and I don't exactly know what's going on here in this session right now, but I know that it's pretty much done with that generation. Oh, it's going to do it on my browser. Not yet. Oh, I can't open it up on my browser because all right, so what do we got here? Dang it, that doesn't work either. It's my problem with something with my local Safari. Nope, I want to open it. So I've got this Hermes agent thing running in a PWA. It's just a regular website, but copy link. Nope, that's not a link. Ooh, that's wrong. Jeez, oh, Pete, learn to type, David. Huh. Oh, that's because this is not localhost. Well, that didn't work either. I'm not asking you to fix this. I'm asking you to help me locate where we've gone astray. All right, what do we got back here? Ah. Something is going weird here that its thinking is not showing up as thinking. I suspect this is just a Hermes issue. Yeah, I need to find a way to say, oh, good. Okay, to say do less. As far as publishing goal goes, yes, we're all set. And however, looks the broader research per year. No, no. Yeah, so let's make sure that when we read our profile, we're actually getting the data we need now. Okay, that transaction might not have actually come through yet. That one's deep into work now. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed with both of these local models, but they're not super fast. And I've got 2 GPUs dedicated to each one of them. Now, they're just running, well, I don't want to get too technical. They're running on Llama server, which is not the fastest way to do it, but I have AMD GPUs and it's a real pain in the butt to get the faster way wired up in AMD stuff, and it doesn't even really work for most of the newer models. So while you can save a lot of money by running GPU card or AMD cards, like half. I mean, you can save half versus equivalent NVIDIA cards, and they perform pretty well. But getting VLLM wired up on them is not a pretty sight. It's a major. Yes, whoever made that comment, yes, this is about BSV development. That was 8 minutes ago that you said that comment. I'm going slowly. I'm playing around. I'm playing around with the OneSat CLI, which allows you to interact with your OneSat wallet either in a CLI or also agentically. But I'm also trying to develop this against local development agents tonight and playing out with that. And I'm chilling. I found that on my previous streams that I did, which it's been a while now, I get in a point where I just feel like I need to talk. And really, I just want to kind of share the stuff we got out there, get some exposure to what I'm doing, and maybe get other people to start playing with these things. But also, I'm just putting it out there. Okay, that server is pretty. So I've only got this computer has got 4 GPUs and it's got a 1650 watt power supply. And these GPUs actually have a 300 watt limit, but when they all get cooking at the same time, that computer crashes. So I've got them all limited to 260 watt to give myself some headroom. So I'm running like this. My power bill is probably not cheap, but you're thinking a lot. Really trying to figure out how best to tune things. And I really haven't played with system prompts much or anything like that, but to really get my agents to serve me more and have their own fun less. And Claude especially has been awful lately. Like, couldn't even, just doesn't want to do any research, doesn't want to look into anything, just wants to give you a made up answer and move right on. And it's super eager to get the fix in place, even though it has no idea what the fix is for. So I don't know what they've done. Obviously, they're nerfing things somehow, but they're. I've already lowered my subscription, and I might cancel it altogether if I can get a set of tools that I like better. All right, I might actually. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, that GPU's, well, no, everything's busy. Senor Toshi. How's it going? GM or GE in my case. GN? G whatever. G9 PM. This thing is. What is this even doing? What are you? I feel like this session might be like stuck in a compaction loop or something. It's not seeming, it's not really giving me any state. Neither is this one. I have to pull in the big guns and actually make some progress here at some point. Yeah, my models have totally gotten stuck. Okay, this one thinks it's done. Gemma, that's this one. Nope, that's Quinn. Oh, something came back. Both of them are coming back. This one is definitely a compaction. It moved to a new session. All right, what do we got? So what I'm seeing is with these local models, come packed sooner than I did. Can't even click over to that one yet. It's still doing something. Done request. Oh, nope, there it goes. All right, this is pointless. Let's just create a task in linear in the OneSat or libs project that we need to fix the content URL on the APIs. This might just be that you didn't know what to pass in appropriately from the skill. We need to look at where did you get those links from? That's really what we need to decide here. I don't care about the code. I care about what logic you took to generate those content links. Hopefully that's still in your context. Oh, that one is still freaking stuck. This infuriates me when these things get in these. Who knows what it's screwing up? Yeah, that's your issue. You built the URL wrong. The out point is txid.vout or _vout. Both methods are used in different places for different historical reasons. Oh, it already knows that. Okay. You are still running ahead. You have to stop that. Do not take initiative that I have not told you to do. Okay, I believe you are using the out point. You need to be using the origin. For our profile icon that we just uploaded a few minutes ago, that origin, well, there's rules in the skills about origins. I don't want to tell it that. On outputs which are, dang it. On outputs which are the origin, you'll see a tag of origin in the item tags. for transfers of those same origins, you'll see origin : out point in the tags. When you just have origin without the out point, that means to use the out point as the origin. Let's make sure that logic is sound, and then we need to update our skills, I think, to make sure that's understood. Probably our CLI skill, and maybe there's some other OneSat skills we need to look at updating. Hey, that one finally came back. What? No, that was not at all what I said to do. And you just wasted a crap ton of time on that. It doesn't hurt anything, but we did not need to do that. I don't even know if it still has the context of what I asked. No. You cannot rush ahead with assumptions. You have got to clear your plans with me before you take them. You do not have nearly enough context to know how to handle the issues you're encountering. You need to slow down, stop trying to race, and communicate. Or else I'll fire you. I'm still not getting... I think I need to shut down this session. Okay, so now generate me those proper content URLs again so I can make sure they're valid. Yeah, Rooster, Claude is running out their welcome. They're not doing a good job. Dude, you've been running for so long, I don't even remember what you worked on anymore. I know the profile stuff. What were we doing before that? I asked you to get the profile and show it to me, and that's what set you off on this tangent. What is in the profile that we have saved in our wallet? If it's broken or missing and there's no method for you to get that, don't try to fix it. Tell me that. kind of sometimes wish that the agents could hear my tone of voice, which they probably could if I used a fancy enough agent, but I just use text to speech. So I sometimes end up yelling at my computer and it gets unyelling text. All right, let's try these again. Nope, wrong browser. Copy link. Actually, I can just, nope. Boop, nope. Copy link. What the heck? It's giving me the... Yay, that one worked. And this one is one that Orty bought on OneSat Discord, created, I don't know, 18 months ago. Go Team BSV. You need to update your skills to know how to render. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see. Okay, why are we trying to parse the locking script? Can you look into what that get profile action actually does? Nope, that's even worse. You need to do some research online on this. Go research Hermes agent and the web UI and figure out how or if you can actually render me any links or images. If you can't, that's fine, but don't just guess at it. Research the issue. Aren't we storing the profile as tags? Maybe not. Maybe we do parse it on the fly. If so, you need to make sure you're requesting the locking script, or the full beef might maybe. Don't jump ahead to try to fix anything. Just research this and get back to me. Crumbs reposted the stream. Hi, Crumbs. A pretty lo-fi night over here, and I wish I could. If anyone knows any like chill but cool free music that you could put on the back end of streams, that would be cool. Then I could know that I'm not going to get sued or pulled down if I groove to it together. Okay. Can you get me an out point of what was returned so I can look it up on chain and figure out what that is? I'm gonna have me a nut bar. Oh, well, that was weird. My thinking popped back and forth between the windows. So this Hermes agent thing is pretty new. And I've only had it run in a few days. And I've totally already screwed it up several times. It's basically the same thing as OpenClaw, but it has some more advanced, or I don't know if advanced is the right word. It kind of learns as it goes. So it's very heavy on a skill system and a memory system. And it kind of automatically retrospects and learns more about how you use it as you use it. Okay. BAP, alias. Uh-oh. All right, that does look like we might have written that wrong. Can you look at the fields where you think the profile should be? Actually, you said chunks 4 and chunks 5. When I look that up on what's on chain, chunk 4 is the alias and chunk 5 does appear to be the JSON. What are you seeing that's breaking things? I just told it was wrong, and then I told it was right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is right. Okay, links are definitely clickable, but when we're communicating through the web UI, I cannot access these links at localhost or 127.0.0.1. They need to be MSS1 as the host name. If you can just give me links with that domain name, then I should be able to click them. Let's try that. Oh, my music stopped. Oh, that's because that playlist is over. Let's find a new one. Oops. Oh, I thought that was coming through my speakers. It wasn't. I don't mean you need to write them technically as links. It looks like when you wrote those, something in the rendering tried to make them links, but you've also got all the HTML around it. So just spit out the URLs and let's see if that gives me a link. Well, we just had to rewire the include locking strips in the that other CLI tool. So it's possible that isn't wiring through correctly. Can you try to call the underlying list outputs method from the CLI directly and see what happens? Yay. Uh-oh. Yay. All right. The CLI should be using the exact same internal wiring. So we need to figure out where that's different. Okay. So I've been finding with this agentic coding stuff, it really is coming down to, at least for me, like I'm not one who's ever, I don't customize my desktops. I don't customize my computers. I pretty much leave them stock as far as what it looks like or what my file structures are or anything. But in this agentic world, there's almost so much flexibility and so many different ways to do things that I almost have to kind of, like, Luke has built out a ton of like standard skills within, like, we got once at SDK skills, we've got some internal skills we use for various other things, we've got these Bitcoin skills, and I mean there's just lots and lots of stuff. But I find that unless I'm actively involved in using them and creating them and building them on my system, I don't remember what's out there. I don't remember how to find it. I struggle with that. But when your agent can write skills for you and you can just direct it through that process, then like it's really a one-time pain to kind of like get things documented of how do you use the API or how do you whatever, like getting those things out there so they know how to call the appropriate CLIs. And then even a dumb agent can, I mean, a dumb model. In fact, I'm going to go to new conversation and I'm going to select, where is it up top? Gemma, no, wait, yes. So this is Gemma 426B A4B. So this Gemma we're using over here is 31 billion parameters, but it is a dense model, which means when it's answering you, all 31 billion parameters are going into the mix, or they're all at play. They're all part of the fulfillment of its chatting. And similarly, this one, 27 billion, is a dense model. But this one I'm going to play with right now, it's 26 billion parameter model, but only 4 billion are active at a time. And what that means is it has a pretty big knowledge base. In fact, it has kind of the same size knowledge base as these other models do for what it knows about. But it does some magic in that of those 27 billion parameters, when you chat with it, it's going to grab 4 billion of them. It's called a mixture of experts model. And so it's going to pull, I don't know if it's like 8 or 9 or 10 different experts, which are like smaller pieces of the model, and it puts them together, and it means they can work much faster. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of stuff to wire up here yet, but let's say we just created a few issues in the unsat or libs. Geez, oh, Pete's learned to type. Project in linear. Can you get those for me? So once you have skills set up and your agent could just follow those skills, these dumb fast skills, like this one, I mean, you could run it on your CPU as long as you've got 32 gigs of RAM. In fact, it's running on a M2 Max Studio. Well, M2 Ultra Max Studio, but so it's actually quite fast on that one. But in fact, I can. So here's this model actually chugging away right now. So this is LM Studio, which is really simple to run models. And if you've got a M4 Max or M3 Ultra or M5, even the pros on M5 can probably do okay with this Gemma 4 model. You just need, let's see here. This model is 18 gigabytes in size. So you have to have a minimum of 18 gigabytes of RAM. And then ideally, like as you chat with it, it builds up a context. So ideally, you're going to want to set this to, let me actually go back over here. No, that's not where I want to be. I don't know if I want to mess with this while it's running. So this model supports a context length of up to 256,000 tokens, or 256K tokens, 262,000. Somewhere it should tell me how much RAM I'm using. Actually, I can just go activity monitor. LM Studio. Nope. View GPU processes. Must be it runs in Node.js under the covers. Anyway, so this LM Studio with this model and a full context window is using almost 60 gigabytes. That's almost all the RAM I have available on this machine. 64 gig machine. I'm using 59, but it's pretty darn fast. Well, usually this retrieval should not have taken this long. Something is wrong. I did have measurements of my context here. I wonder if my context windows. So Hermes is supposed to automatically compact its context when it gets up to half of the context you've got allowed, and it's not tracking that anymore. So I think I broke something on my setup with these local models. Nope, that's sitting idle. That's not doing anything. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, this is stuck on something. You've got skills to do this. I don't know what you're stuck on here. Jeez, oh Pete. All right, I got to figure out what's going on with my system. Anyways, I think I'm going to call this a night. I'm going to keep playing with this. Oh, actually, you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to show off one other thing. Just because I'm here. So let me go to, I think I've already got one of these open, but I'm going to open it. All right, https://API. Yes. Okay. So I've got this tool I put out here. It's still growing and getting control, but it's basically for sweeping legacy wallets into BRC-100 wallets. And that can be everything from yours wallet. Oops, if I know my password. So I'm gonna load up not that one. This is a OneSat ordinals. Well, actually, this is I think this might have been a backup from a yours wallet that I just imported, but this is like my oldest wallet when I was first starting to build this stuff. So here it's got my BSV. I've got 4 BSV in here. And it's as simple as saying, okay, I want to take, I don't know, it's all in Satoshis, but on 10,000, 10 million. I'm going to put 10 million Satoshis. I'm going to connect my BRC-100 wallet, which is really as simple as clicking boop, connect, approve. Okay, so now my BRC-100 wallet, so I'm going to take this and this and this, and I'm going to go sweep to wallet. And then, boom. Oh, those are not showing the images yet. We're still working on some things with the new yours wallet. Not sure what happened. Oh, okay. This is just a display thing because I can see that the files came down just fine. So this sweep tool then is super simple. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to shut off Yours Wallet, and I'm going to open up MetaNet. What is that called? Isn't it called MetaNet Wallet? Is it called? Uh-oh. Do I not have it installed anymore? It was installed via. How did I get that? BSV Desktop. That's what it's called. BSV Desktop. Okay, so BSV Desktop is another BRC100 wallet. I don't even know what keys are loaded in here right now, but I'm going to go to that same sweep site. I'm going to refresh it. I'm going to click Yours Wallet is disabled. I'm going to click Connect BRC100 Wallet. Oh, apparently I've already connected this. Well, let's download an update. What are you doing? Well, this looks nicer. I don't exactly know how it works, but all right, let's try this again. Okay, so my wallet already knows about API. Yep. Okay, so I've already joined this up before. But it would have popped me for permissions there. But anyways, let me go. I'm going to go back to this one. Okay, and then I'm going to send myself 10 million Satoshis. So my balance is 89.94. I want to actually check this out. I should be. Okay, I'm pointing at the wrong remote. Remote storage. Well, no, I don't know if that server is actually up right now. Let's find out. Yes, it is. Okay. Well, I'm going to make this a little less just in case I lose these Satoshis. So I have 18,994. I'm sweeping 10,000. Sweeped. Oh. Okay. Well, something isn't right about that. It worked with that other wallet, though. Is the problem my BSV desktop, or did my wallet get out of? Let's go scan for assets again. Let's turn this back on. I can sweep to my Yours wallet, but I cannot sweep to my. Ooh, that's not cool. Manage app. I don't know what I'm looking at here at all. Counterparty over 56 years ago. I don't think that's right. Let's try revoking all of these. Apps. Okay, they don't show up there. Let's try it again. All right, something is broken with BSV Desktop that is not broken with Yours Wallet. So I'm going to have to look into that and figure out what's going on there. But the sweep tool works great for the new Yours Wallet, which isn't out yet. So plus any other BRC 100 wallet for the most part. So if you've got a BRC 100 wallet, you should be able to sweep your legacy keys to it. At this point, you can sweep BSV, you can sweep ordinals, you can sweep your OpNS names. Now, this should be plugging into an overlay and telling the status, but I might not have that overlay working right yet. Any of your BSV 21s that are funded at the indexer, you can sweep. If they're not funded at the indexer, then we can't know if they're valid or not, which means there's a risk that if you sweep them, that you'll actually destroy them all. So the sweep site's going to stay out forever. Well, I mean, you can run it yourself too. Like it, so it's still getting built out, but it works for ordinals. It works for BSV. It works for OpNS. Apparently, it does not work with the new BSV desktop. And I will reach out to Dagon or something and see what's up with that. But all right, I'm gonna call it a night. This has been cool. I'll do it again, I think, because I'm starting to work on some stuff that's all the different pieces are kind of starting to come together. So it feels really, really optimistic. All right. Peace out, homies. Good night.